We can't help but reflect on the past because when we're currently standing on the crux of all things gone bad, it's only human nature, isn't it, to go back. Go back and see what was once good and how all things got way off track. I like to say that women's rights really did have a lot to do with that shit. You know, we got the right and all that stuff got a little bit out of hand. And, you know, they can show men how things are done. You know, aside from those toys that men want outside of their place of work, toys like trucks, cars. You know, there's guys that like to go hunting and fishing and stuff like that. But aside from that, guys really don't require much maintenance. Not like women. There's something inside them. It's almost like they can't look at themselves and they try to create multiple images of themselves using the likeness of other women. I could never understand that stuff. And I grew up with 3 sisters, and I had 2 daughters, and I could still never understand any of that shit. Like the whole acceptance of who you are is like a huge step in the right direction. And I just can't understand the ungodly wardrobes, the piles and piles of makeup, the hoarding of shoes and accessories and shit like that. I could never ever understand any of that shit. Not only could I not understand it, but when you calculate all the dollars and cents that go into that stuff, when chances are none of that stuff actually gets used in a timely fashion before it gets old. I'm talking makeup, perfume, and all that other shit. And then, shit, the likelihood that they are going to wear all the clothes that they purchase and all the shoes that they purchase and all those accessories that they purchase in any lifetime is like highly unlikely. So, like, the abundance of that shit, I could never understand. I pretty much sit where my father sits on things. I often tell him that I swear we are twins, just, you know, like 23 years apart, 27 years. And I think it was 23 years. I think he was 23 years old when I came about. So I don't understand any of that stuff. And because I don't understand any of that normal female stuff, I have a hard time relating to females in general because that's like waste. And it's not so much like they feel that they need to treat themselves to something because they've worked so hard all day long, all week long, all month long, all year long. It's just, it's almost like, I don't know, an overriding sense of greed. I don't know what it is. I don't understand it. There's a lot of things I don't understand about the female side of the world. This thing where they think it's okay to take from other people. I don't understand that. I can use myself as an example. I can use my daughter as an example. Like, if my mother gave me gifts that came from her thoughts about me, and it included the money that she earned through her own hard work and effort, and she went out there and she bought me a gift, I should be able to keep, have, and hold those things forever without anybody ever taking them from me. And same thing with my daughter. Like, who gives these people the right to take things that don't truly belong to them? I will never understand this stuff. What about the things that I've worked for? Worked very hard. Small things, little things. Things that really don't amount to anything cash-wise. These people think it's okay to take these things and dispose of them. It's not okay. Somewhere along the line, the bridges, including the men's, that held strong beliefs solidly affixed in the forms of morals, ethics, and just a form of dignity in how you treat one another, that somehow got all frayed in the process. In talking with my father, I do remember, as I was growing up, swear words were not allowed on TV or on the radio. And the thought process behind all that was they didn't want people in general to think it's okay to talk to one another like that. Therefore, it was prohibited, forbidden, to speak in foul languages to the general public. So if you were a news reporter, if you were a movie star, those things were highly frowned upon. And my father used as an example Elvis. They put a stop to him dancing on stage because it gave people ideas, they said, for having children out of wedlock and having premature sex and things like that. So although he's an icon today, the king of rock, he had his own dealings with what was allowed and not allowed back then. But today, everything is allowed. Right, wrong, or indifferent. You can't even go and debate based on my moral fibers, the way I was raised. I don't want this, or this occurring around me. Well, that's too bad. We got the right. That's the attitude. We got the right. And I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And I often say, I swear, when Princess Diana passed away, that was the turning point, like a huge turning point, because prior to that, women seem to focus more not on themselves, but on their family and their children. And I often say that on online when I'm communicating with people. There's something that happened when her presence was no longer here. The moral fibers just kind of like broke away. So there are people that definitely showed enlightenment to the rest of us that there is something much more important than thyself out there. But I don't know where we're going. All I have to say is to all these people out there that keep saying, well, the United States is a free country. It's not free. It costs a lot of money to live here. And you need to pack up those thoughts and fucking bury that shit. Our national debt is like way out of whack. What are you going to do? Call China in and ask them to, pay off your debt again? They did pay our debt off right after Vietnam in exchange for coming in here selling products and bringing their people in here. It was the compromise. There's always a compromise to the fuck ups and all the fucking mistakes made by politicians and people that follow their stupid shit without keeping an eye on the ball. So I don't know. We got to put that fucking freedom shit and pack that shit up and bury it. Because this country ain't free. It's already been done, the free for the taking, at the hands of genocide, large scales at that. And, they need to rewrite, come up with a new fucking flag and all that other shit, because this country does not back up anything that it was originally created from. It's so out of whack. I'm so sick of the handouts. I'm so sick of watching how, oh, well, it's our history. We've always had these open arms welcoming people from across the world into this country on the bell tones and rings of freedom. Like, give me a fucking break, okay? There's nothing free about the United States. It's a very dysfunctional, disorganized, I would argue and debate all day long. It's not even a real country. A real country has a solid historical structure, unbreakable. This country does not have that, if you want to call it a country. Now, you can walk around on your false beliefs all day long, but the facts are the facts. Somewhere along the line, they crossed the fucking line in dealing with people using some common sense. And they took their shit too far. It's time to wake up. And if this country ever did have a backbone, it's long since been broken. Because the people that are allowing the government to put us further and further into debt and not standing up and saying, we can't take any more. We've done enough. We can't take any more. You've already taxed us to death. Now what do you want? If this country was actually founded on the reasoning for people coming here is to escape the taxation without representation from England, then why are we overtaxed? You need to put the flag away, bury that fucking thing. Pack up your beliefs about this being a free country and pack that shit and bury that. You need to take down that national anthem with the home of the free and home of the brave and all that other shit and be done with it. This country has not stood on any solid realms of reality, let alone history. I've never seen it in my lifetime. All I see is a bunch of idiots walking around, allowing idiot-type attitudes and behaviors to be fostered and carried through. All these government employees, they're such idiots. Well, it's our community, it's our money, it's our this. We can do what we want, do what we please. To a large degree, I would say that's correct. Nobody's watching these people, all these little pockets of government everywhere. Fuck. Any one of us can go create a pocket of government. All you have to do is start a municipal corporation somewhere. How this was allowed to go this far is so... I can't believe it. I can't believe no one stands up for other people's rights, knowing that it's only a matter of time and the shit's gonna come rolling through your household too. Might as well kiss that American flag goodbye. I see it every day. The weakness. The weakest link on the planet has to be right here in the United States. It is the United States. Makes me sick. Really does.